could really make that call every single play. You see players, especially perimeter players, the way they handle the basketball. If it's going to affect something that's leading directly to a basket and your offensive player gains a big advantage, make the call. When the player's just dribbling the ball, at this point, you really can't call it because everybody's doing it.
McGrady watched by Rice. Muggsy has a wide open shot. Harper was going to give it to him.
And see, that's what hurts. Muggsy has to hit that shot.
McGrady in the air, but the whistle underneath. And it's an offensive foul against Toronto. Charles Oakley.
Yeah, Charles Oakley cleared out AC Green away from the basketball. But we're talking about Muggsy Bogues. Now, Muggsy Bogues at the top of the key. If he doesn't take that shot, Ron Harper's just going to stay inside the lane and just bother everybody. You know what happens with his wingspan, his quickness defensively. That's just a tremendous hindrance to the big people for the Raptors.
Well, Kobe and Vince, the matchup right now of choice. Two very similar basketball players.
Well, mismatch there, Ron Harper. And see, the help has to come, and that's going to create imbalance defensively.
AC Green had Charles Oakley on his bench. Charles Oakley was on his bench, had a seat, and comes back. Muggsy to the rack, no way. Here comes Kobe. Lakers on the run. Showtime for Kobe Bryant. Oh, the long pass to Davis. Now it's out of control.
A smart play by Antonio Davis, not trying to dribble. Pick that ball up and find your teammates.
Vince Carter, the finger roll.
Smart play, Rod. Antonio Davis picking up the basketball, coming out in transition, finding his teammate Vince Carter, who you know can make something happen in the open court.
Kobe tried to force one at the other end. Lakers have gone 3 minutes without a field goal. It's a 10-point lead, closest the Raptors have been in a while. Want to get it to single digits, they do, but Ron Harper says, hello.
What kills you in a game plan the Raptors can put together is when a player like Ron Harper, the defensive specialist, steps up and has a big game offensive. He's got 9 points already, wide open shots, mostly coming from passes from the big man, Shaquille O'Neal.
Muggsy again. Harper laying way off of him. Del Curry, that's a two-pointer. And that's off. Charles Oakley again, great hustle. Oakley down to the second row this time. Harper and AC Green and Rice. AC Green the rebound.
AC Green completely took Vince Carter out with his right hand as he went up to get the ball with his left.
This looks like a Venice Beach game now. Little playground basketball. Now the Lakers will slow it down. Vince Carter has a problem with his eye right now. Seems to be wincing and blinking.
Well, Vince Carter took a pretty good shot from AC Green, as I mentioned, on that rebound that AC Green was able to pick up with his left hand. He cleared out Vince with his right, caught him on the side of the face. And Vince doesn't appreciate that, talking to the officials right now.
Also talking with Charles Oakley. They had some words.
Basically telling Charles, hey, help me out and get that big fella off my back.
64-42 Lakers at ACC on CTV. Raptors 52. Lakers have owned Toronto today. Now watch this. Charles Oakley coming across with some help on AC Green. Now you've heard of guys going to the bench, but not during the play. Grab a seat and then a little rest, and it comes back the other way, and there's that acrobatic finger roll from Vince Carter. He gets style points, but right now they need more points.
Well, keep in mind, you saw Charles Oakley hit the bench. You just turned 36, Rod. You got to grab a breather whenever you can. You got to conserve your energy.
Well, some of us, when we play, we strap that bench to our backside.
Hey, I'm very familiar with that position.
Kobe Bryant wearing the black patch, of course, honoring the late, great Wilt Chamberlain, who will have his number retired also by the Golden State Warriors. In a couple of weeks, Chamberlain's number retired by 3 teams. The Lakers, Philadelphia, and then the Warriors.
Every time you think of Wilt Chamberlain, you think of the numbers that he averaged in one season. 50 points, over 20 rebounds. Unbelievable.
Charles Oakley, the epitome of a Warrior today. Going everywhere. Long pass to Bogues. Three-pointer, no chance. That's not his shot.
A nice job by Charles Oakley. The big guys for the Raptors, Oakley and Davis, have done well on the glass. 11 rebounds for Charles Oakley. Almost picked up his 12th. And Antonio Davis has 10.
Kobe over the shoulder to Rice, who tosses it up to Shaq, who will go to the line and try to convert a three-point play. Del Curry, and frustration just now from Vince Carter as he slammed the basketball against the basketball net support.
Glenn Rice looking at the big fella Shaquille O'Neal, gave him a wink. Great play by Shaq. Rod, he caught the ball in midair. The tendency for most players is just try to finish it in midair, get the alley-oop. Instead, he comes down with it and goes up strong and almost gets a chance for a three-point play. Although you don't really want to use that when Shaquille O'Neal's at the line. But again, you're still picking up a foul on the opposition. Just a smart decision by Shaq.
3 of 7 Shaq is from the line. Not many open looks for Toronto. There's one for Oakley. Muggsy again. Shot clock's at 5. Bogues will have to let it go.
So Los Angeles playing very well defensively. They're rotating. They're getting out on the shooters. They're dropping off of Muggsy Bogues, and it's allowing them to bother other players that are offensive threats, namely Vince Carter.
14. The shot clock is reset. Under 2 minutes in the third quarter. Rice to steal through the legs. Glenn Rice, Charles Oakley will take the hard foul.
They're calling that a flagrant foul. There, Terry Durham calling a flagrant foul on Shaquille O'Neal, said he hit him just a little bit too hard. You know Charles Oakley is not going to give up an easy layup. Great hands by Glenn Rice on that play.
Glenn Rice with 20 points. Perfect from the line so far.
Nice job of getting that ball to the right hand in traffic between the two defenders. And there's that. That really didn't look like too much of a flagrant foul, but there was a lot of contact on that play. But not something that Charles Oakley was intentionally trying to hurt Glenn Rice, but obviously not allowing him to get a layup, and especially not a three-point play opportunity.
3 personals for Charles Oakley. So 2 free throws here for Glenn Rice, plus the 2 on the foul. So the guy's been perfect from the line so far and remains that way.
Well, shooting 88% on the season, that's one guy you do not want to get to the line. That's 22 points now for the sharp-shooting Glenn Rice.
So they inbound the ball. Robert Horry comes off the bench. He is the only man off the bench who has scored for Los Angeles with 2. Bryant makes it go again, and Kobe Bryant is making the Toronto Raptors pay this afternoon.
Kobe Bryant, another smooth move, getting defender up in the air, and he stays low on a ball fake, which is the key. When you stay low, your knees are flexed, you're able to react as soon as the defensive player leaves his feet.
Carter gets the roll. Now 17 for Vince Carter, 71-54. Not a good day so far for the Toronto Raptors. The Lakers showing why they are the hottest team in the league right now. Horry. Willis bringing it down. Here comes Muggsy. Del Curry off the screen. Muggsy looks to give it to Vince Carter, but Bryant is on him like a second skin.
Yeah, excellent job of denying the basketball. Now a long shot by Vince Carter. That's exactly what the Los Angeles Lakers would like to see, a three-pointer falling away.
Last 30 seconds thrown away by the Lakers. Next broadcast on CTV, January 9th, will be the Cross-Canada Showdown. Grizzlies and Raptors. Carter from the elbow knew it was in right away.
And that was a tough move right there, going right at Kobe Bryant with the crossover, attacking as opposed to retreating like he did on that last jump shot.
71-56. Lakers will try to set up for the last shot. Vince Carter on Kobe. A one-on-one matchup. 2 guys who they have called the next Michael Jordan, both of them. And Vince Carter. John Thomas coming up, and he gets the foul.
Well, John Thomas was trying to keep Shaquille O'Neal from getting his position down low. John Thomas is a very physical player, had an excellent first half. But when you're trying to keep 300 or so pounds away from that post position, good luck.
O'Neal, 3 of 7. Told me yesterday, though, you know what? I'm not worried about my free throws. said, I will make them when I need to. Everybody knows he still has to hit a few more, but he said, over this win streak, I'm only hitting 48 or whatever percent it is from the line. We're still winning. That's the main thing.
Well, if they can still win, it will obviously take pressure off of him making free throws. The other night against Minnesota, they fouled him intentionally with about a minute to go in the game. He made his free throws, gave the Minnesota Timberwolves a nice stare on their bench. Said, hey, you made a mistake.
That one looked pretty good, by the way, that last free throw.
He just, every once in a while, he shows pretty good form. It's all psychological now. He puts in the time, but it's in his head, and he's got to get it out of his head. He can make free throws if he puts in the time.
11 rebounds, 21 points for Shaq. And as I mentioned, the Grizzlies and the Raptors, Sunday, January 9th. Vancouver really struggling. Lost again last night. Try to get it going again into the new year. Escape the basement in their conference. Ottawa and Edmonton tonight. The Bad Blue game night. Hockey down the dial on CTV Sportsnet. Edmonton Oilers and the Ottawa Senators. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Well, Butch Carter, one of the ways if you want to get back into the game, you can't do it if you don't get to the line. Lakers 13-3 free throw attempts in this third quarter.
Curry takes an off-balance three at the last second, and no. And just like that quarter, it falls short for the Toronto Raptors. The Los Angeles Lakers silencing a sold-out crowd here at Air Canada Center today. Shaquille O'Neal, Glenn Rice, and Kobe Bryant doing all the damage. 73-56 after today. 6 of 11. 8 of 8 from the line. It's been Rice. It's been Shaq and Bryant. The 3 angles of the triangle.
Glenn Rice seems to be a perfect fit for this team with that triangle offense. A lot of wide open shots. Here you see his made shots pretty much all over the court, not just in shooting the perimeter shot. He's gotten inside. He's got some layups. He's got some mid-range shots as well. And when you look at, and he's one of these players that is always in trade rumors, much like Eddie Jones when he played for the Lakers. Every single day his name was mentioned, and now Glenn Rice is in that same situation.
62 of the 73 points from the triangle. Ori off to Shaq.
He traveled on that play. Rod moved his feet before he shot. No call by the official, but good recovery by Kevin Willis.
So fourth quarter underway. Raptors in need of a serious run. Have not played well at all today.
Raptors have not scored more than 22 points in a quarter in this game. Nice shot there by Kevin Willis. They need 40 points in this quarter to get their season average of 97 points a game, which tells you how well the Los Angeles Lakers have played defensively.
Rick Fox knocks one down. Well, keep in mind, too, the Los Angeles Lakers kept their cross-city cousins, the Clippers, and held them to 3 points in one quarter.
And I believe the last couple of weeks for the half. So that was a modern shot clock era record.
Yeah, that could be bad shooting, but that is terrific defense. Brown to Muggsy to Willis. Kevin Willis heating it up a little bit.
See what happens when you get a little dribble penetration by Muggsy Bogues. The defense comes. Somebody has to be open.
Kobe. 19 for him.
Raptors trying to be a little bit more aggressive right now with their trap, and there's a hard foul by Kevin Willis.
Well, that's a hack-a-shack right there. Send him to the line. Willis is second to go with his 8 points. And actually, they won't send him to the line because it's not in a penalty yet. So it wasn't a shooting situation because he was on the ground. Shot clock at 14. Kobe, the spin move. Thomas brings it down. Muggsy again pushing. Looked like a foul there. Curry got it.
See, Muggsy right now, that's a two-pointer, is initiating tempo. He's dictating the tempo by pushing it, forcing the Los Angeles Lakers to get back, and hopefully they'll get some good shots out of it. Now he's had a couple of assists, getting things going for his teammates.
John Thomas reaching around Shaq, whistled for the foul. That's his fourth.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal really used his left arm on that play, did not allow John Thomas to get around him. But anytime you're trying to get by a big guy like Shaquille O'Neal, more often than not, you are going to get the call. against you.
Raptors have committed 21 fouls, Leo, to 15 for the Lakers. I guarantee you that about 16 or 17 of those fouls have been against number 34, Shaquille O'Neal.
And at the other end of the court, the Lakers can play real good defense, and they can funnel you right down to Shaquille O'Neal. And as a team, they have 9 blocks in the game. And Shaq has 5 of those blocks.
75-62. Muggsy takes the 14-footer, no.
See, he's doing a good job moving the basketball, but until he hits that shot consistently, the Raptors are going to have a hard time getting back into it. He's 1 for 6 in the game.
Great play by the Lakers, but Ron Harper, a bit of miscommunication with Shaq. Brown quickly, catch and shoot, no. Del Curry brings it down. So the Raptors with their 2 3-point shooters on the floor, and Curry and Brown, but both of them miss.
You can see Butch Carter obviously saying, loosen up, guys. Take your shots. Don't be afraid to shoot. And that time there were rebounders in position. Unfortunately, not able to get the ball back.
Fox knocks it down.
We talked about, mentioned earlier, Ron Harper, a sneaky offensive player. Rick Fox is like that as well. He's a quiet offensive player. He's got 4 points in the game, but he sticks them when it hurts the most.
Under 9 minutes to go in the fourth. Willis, again, good D, lost the ball. 8 on the shot clock. When we come back, they will maintain possession, but they have a long way to go to catch the Lakers. Phil Jackson with his 6 rings, and this is a team that has a few players who have won NBA championships over the past few years. In fact, go way back. A.C. Green won a couple in '87 and '88 when he was a Laker, and Magic Johnson, James Worthy, Kareem era. John Sally won a couple with the Bad Boys in Detroit and also with Chicago. Robert Horry 2 times with the Houston Rockets, and of course Ron Harper as well, winning with Michael and the Bulls. Will the Los Angeles Lakers be able to bring a ring to Shaquille O'Neal and the rest of their teammates? As Vince Carter nailed the 2-pointer, so Carter now has 21 points, his team trailing by 13.
But it's the aura and respect that Phil Jackson has from the 6 rings that really has brought a different intensity to the Los Angeles Lakers. They have to listen to him because he's a proven commodity. He's done it with the Chicago Bulls, and that's why they're playing better defense. That's why the triangle's working. And Phil Jackson was exactly what this team needed. And Rick Fox, I told you, he hits them when it hurts the most. Every time the Raptors trying to make a run right now, Rick Fox is coming back with a jump shot.
Antonio Davis will check back in to provide a little more muscle. Muggsy gives it off to Vince Carter, who's done the bulk of the scoring. Carter inside, baseline, Willis, Shaq again. Rebound number 12. Rick Fox, 3 of 4 from the field. All 6 points for the Lakers here in the fourth.
Raptors only shooting 37% in this game, so even the good looks they've had haven't been able to knock them down consistently.
Muggsy scrapes up the ball. Faked the pass, took the shot.
Good decision. Muggsy Bogues making sure he had his balance before he let the ball go. Finally able to get one to go down, and for Bogues, that's 2 of 7. His second shot now. Good look one more time. Muggsy Bogues getting control. Everybody runs by, fakes the pass, and a nice soft touch.
79-66. Still loads of time. But how do you stop him? How do you stop him? Shaquille O'Neal again.
You know what he does? He doesn't rush his shots either. Earlier in his career, he'd rush his shots. He'd get him up there too early. Now he's waiting. He makes sure he's collected. He takes his time, looks for fouls, looks for contact.
23 for Shaq. Muggsy got it again. So Bogues, who was 1 for 6 moments ago, is now 3 of 8.
And that's what you need sometimes, that short little shot he shot on the previous possession to get your confidence up and hopefully get you back on track.
Raptors need a run. Lakers have done an excellent job all day long keeping the Raptors at bay. Great ball movement again with the triangle. Harper is short. D. Brown gets the ball knocked out of bounds. And a whistle. And a timeout. Muggsy Bogues now with 6 points. Raptors trail by 13. Toronto Raptors against the New Jersey Nets this coming Tuesday, 7 o'clock on CTV Sportsnet for the folks in the greater Toronto area only. The Raptors have lost 2 in a row, trying to avoid a 3-game slide. It is going to be very difficult, if not impossible, in the last 6.5 minutes against a team that is not folding one bit, the Lakers.
Well, Lakers continue to play solid defense, and offensively, they're pretty much having their way.
Kobe with Rick Fox. Muggsy steals the ball, and so does Vince, and here they come. Lakers wanted a foul. Bad pass Carter to Davis, or to Kevin Willis, rather. And here come the Lakers again. And once again, the Raptors get a break. Carter. In and out. Vince is 9 for 22.
What happens when you take the quick shot, which the Raptors are scrambling right now to get something going. You take that quick shot, there's nobody there to get the rebound.
Kevin Willis and Kobe Bryant jostling and battling. Foul to Willis. The Toronto Raptors, since we've watched them so far this season, have been a team that has also played with a lot of emotion, particularly from the younger players. Can some of that emotion at times be a little taxing on this team, or sometimes work against them?
Absolutely, Rod. I think one of the things that Butch Carter wants is consistent emotion, to go with consistent effort when you're on the floor. And it's the important thing to remember, it's a long season. You don't want to panic, and you are going to have lows throughout the season. Nice pass there, Muggsy Bogues, Robert Horry over the back of Willis. You're going to have lows. Every team endures it. You look at this short season so far, Milwaukee Bucks have had their low points. The Phoenix Suns struggled at times. Portland Trailblazers have gone through a few low points. The Utah Jazz have as well. You can go through pretty much every good team, solid team in the league. The question is, or the key important part is, how long can it go on? You have to cut it off, and you have to get back on track. And when you're going well, you have to stretch that out and keep it going for as long as you can. So very important, and a lot of that is your young players. Your young players have to learn how to win, no matter how talented they are. They have to learn how to get through these times of the season, and that's something that Butch Carter is fighting right now, and it's not an easy task.
The lead has been cut to 11. 5.5 to go.
11 doesn't seem like a lot of points, but by the way of his game, the flow of his game, it feels like it's 25.
Bryant, Kobe went for the slam. He'll go to the line. Talk about elevating. And there's where you see the similarity between Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter. The instant ability to levitate.
And talk about sneaky. Watch the way he comes in here. Everything's kind of casual. Then watch out. Right up. Over. And now that angle. Now watch from this angle how high he gets up in the air. Wow. Kobe was upset. There was almost a late whistle on that play. Antonio Davis tried to come up and make the block, and the call wasn't made right away. Antonio was trying to say, hey, I got all ball. And Bryant said, no way.
Kobe Bryant, 20 points. Shaq, 23. Rice, 22. Make it 21 for Kobe Bryant. What an afternoon in Toronto for him. And remember, when the Raptors beat the Lakers in Los Angeles at Staples Center, Kobe Bryant was on the bench and still nursing a broken right hand.
And obviously you see the difference that he makes. He's a solid scoring threat. He works hard at the defensive end. Another person that you really have to focus in on. And a tough shot there by Kevin Willis, a little further out than he normally likes to take that shot.
I think every shot is tough when you have to put it over the 7'1" Shaquille O'Neal. Bryant off balance again. Kobe Bryant can't make the circus shot drop. 83-70. Once again a chance to cut into the lead. Vince Carter dumps it the other way.
Well, Kobe Bryant may have had a right to be upset at the other end of the court. Rod, looked like there was definitely contact on the shot. Fortunately, the Raptors able to come away at the other end, get an easy basket for Vince Carter.
23 for Vince, 21 for Kobe. But the real scoreboard is the best and biggest matchup for both teams. 83-72. Crowd calling for defense. Bryant breezed by Carter. Vince and Shaq in a mismatch. Fox takes the long shot as the shot clock expired. And here comes Vince. 4 minutes to go. Almost lost it. Muggsy takes the shot. Got the shot.
It's a big-time shot right there. Derek Fisher completely left Muggsy Bogues alone to go double team on Vince Carter, and Bogues made him pay for it.
Closest Toronto's been in a while. 9. Glen Rice will check in. Now to contain Kobe and Shaq. Gets it right back, and the foul on O'Neal.
Excellent job getting inside. Go to your bread and butter. Get him back on track. But again, this is time you're going to be fouling Shaquille O'Neal if you're the Toronto Raptors. Now, Rod, one of the things that's important to remember about having Kobe Bryant in the lineup for the Los Angeles Lakers, and I'm thinking Chicago Bulls because I'm about to talk triangle offense. Remember Chicago with the triangle offense, the reason it was so effective, they had 3 players that could break you down off the dribble. Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Tony Kukoc. Without Kobe Bryant in the lineup, you didn't have the players that could do that. Now with Shaquille O'Neal, obviously, he'll break you down in the post. Glen Rice is your other threat that can hit from the outside and put the ball on the floor, take the short jump shot. And then there's Kobe Bryant that can do just about everything. So those 3 players are the key to making the triangle very effective offensively.
The triangle has torched the Raptors today. Carter to McGrady and fouled. Tracy McGrady in the air was fouled, so he will go to the line and shoot 2. Vince Carter with good recognition. He was off balance in the air and found Tracy McGrady.
Yeah, you don't want to leave your feet to make a pass, but Vince Carter, good find. And look at the way Tracy McGrady went hard there. He realized this is not a time for jump shots right now. Go to the basket, either get to the line or dunk it.
Now here is a key for Toronto. Again, in the losses to Philadelphia and Orlando down the stretch, had trouble converting from 15 feet.
The Raptors 10 of 18 in this game, just 55%, 56%. Throughout the season, they've been a much better shooting team at the free throw line.
You would think now, as we get down to winning time, 3.5 left, that the Raptors, should the ball come inside to Shaquille O'Neal, send him to the line a lot more than they have already today.
Oh, this is definitely the time that you see teams do just that, Rod.
84-76. McGrady was right up on Rice. The switch over. Harper to Shaq. Willis. Shaq turning, lobbing, no. Got it back though. O'Neal.
That's where Robert Horry just kills you. You did a great job on Shaquille O'Neal. He shoots an air ball. Robert Horry sneaks in, and now he's mismatched with Muggsy Bogues.
Harper. And a traveling call against Ron Harper. Turnover Lakers. Toronto can cut the lead even more.
Phil Jackson immediately up off the bench, did not like that call. And tell you the truth, Rod, didn't see the walk on that replay.
It looked like a foul against Antonio Davis. So the Raptors climbing back. How far can they climb? We'll find out when we come back. 59 to go.
Without a doubt, the crowd back in. Raptors making a little bit of run. Looking back at the keys to the game, rebounding. A little deceiving. Toronto with the edge, but they have 13 offensive rebounds. They've only shot 39%. Double trouble. The Raptors did not do a good job of shutting one of the 2 down. Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. And execution offensively, the Raptors just 39% of the field. And intensity on defense wasn't there for most of the game. Los Angeles doing what they want and getting to the line.
Brad Fay was just in the Toronto huddle. Brad.
Rod, it's the 2 huddles are very, very different in timeouts. Phil Jackson will stand and talk to his assistants for the entire duration of the timeout. A quick word to his players. Butch Carter every single time draws up 2 plays. I can't tell you what those will be, but he's got 2 possessions done on the map.
84-76. Probably a critical trip right now for Toronto. Vince.
Rod, as soon as he caught the ball, had he turned, he had a wide open shot. Instead, made it a little bit more difficult on himself, stepping back away from Kobe Bryant.
Under 3 to go. Muggsy Bogues hollering out defensive instructions. Glen Rice wants it. Vince Carter fronting Kobe Bryant. What a matchup. One-on-one. Kobe stolen by Tracy McGrady. Muggsy going to the basket. Tracy will slow it down. McGrady lobbing to Carter. Knocked out of bounds by Vince Carter. Los Angeles ball.
Not a lot of room to throw the ball into Vince Carter. Glenn Rice really getting off, helping Kobe Bryant out. Good job by Bryant to get a hand in to knock it off of Vince Carter's leg.
So 2 possessions for Toronto that came down the floor, and they come away with nothing. Potentially could have put this lead down to 2 or 3. And Antonio Davis with his arm on the back of Shaquille O'Neal.
Antonio Davis saying, wait a minute. Yes, I did have my arm, and I gave him a push, but I'm the one that went backwards. I don't think he even felt me.
I think he had his arm out, and Shaq just kept bumping into his arm. And so Shaquille O'Neal will try to add to his point total. The officials talking right now. In fact, they will inbound it again, so Shaq will come out high.
That's a 5th foul now for Antonio Davis.
Into the game will become Del Curry. Add some help from beyond the arc. And Vince Carter is being attended to by Chuck Mooney, the athletic therapist of the Toronto Raptors.
Looks like Vince Carter may have a cut on his knee, so Chuck Mooney making sure the blood or the cut is covered up, so Vince Carter can stay in the game and get right back on the court.
84-76 Los Angeles.
2 minutes now, Rod, is an awful long time. Same thing as we said coming out in the second half. The Raptors down. You don't have to rush and get it all back. If they make some good defensive stops and execute offensively, they're going to have a shot to be in this game right at the end. Especially with the big fella shooting his free throw.
Muggsy Bogues got a shot in the eye as he was coming from behind. Wipes his eye. Vince Carter, watched by Kobe. They've been talking to each other all game. Carter. Antonio Davis with a putback flush.
Excellent read there. The help was coming on Vince Carter. Shaquille O'Neal. Nobody picked up Antonio Davis. Great job of getting to the offensive glass.
The lead is suddenly 6. Bryant crossover, off balance, no call. Robert Horry back to Rice, and once again they reset the 24-second clock. Harper on Bogues, blocked by Davis. Here comes Vince Carter. Carter is fouled.
Well, what can you say about Antonio Davis? Averaging 15 boards a game in his last 3 games, 14 rebounds in this game, and watch the reaction right here. Shaquille goes to help, and Antonio Davis is right there for the offensive putback.
D. Brown will check in. Tracy McGrady's back in. Let's reset the offenses. Muggsy Bogues will leave the game for D. Brown. Charles Oakley's into the game. Antonio Davis, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, and Muggsy is bleeding, so he leaves the game.
That's a tough break for the Raptors because Muggsy Bogues really started to get things going. 5 assists, started to make a couple of shots. He was really dictating tempo, pushing the ball up and getting a hand on some loose balls around the bucket.
The Energizer Bunny. And Vince now 4 of 7 from the line, 24 points. Kobe Bryant, 21 points. Reason to smile for Muggsy, who has ignited this team down the stretch. And the lead, unbelievably, is 4.
Well, as we talked about, the Raptors have to get a good stop now. No silly fouls. You know the man you want to put on the line if you have to is Shaquille O'Neal. Don't give up 3-point play opportunities.
A game that the Lakers had in their pocket suddenly might escape them. But Kobe Bryant shakes his head and says, no way.
Tough shot. Kobe Bryant right in the face of Antonio Davis.
86-80. Brown to Carter. And once again, Vince will go to the line. Robert Horry reaching in.
That's a smart play by Vince Carter right there. He manufactured a foul. He took Kobe Bryant in the post. He saw the help coming. He tried to slide right in between Bryant and to help Robert Horry, knowing there's going to be contact, and then exaggerated by throwing the ball up. A smart play by Vince Carter. We're seeing the 2 marquee players now. Vince Carter at one end. Watch right here. Knifing in, drawing the contact, so the officials can see it, make it obvious. And at the other end, Kobe Bryant, smooth move. So both players really stepping it up, Rod.
They gave the foul to Kobe Bryant, even though Robert Horry put his hand up.
Yeah, contact by both players. Smart play by Robert Horry. You want to keep Kobe Bryant in the game. He's got 5.
I think that's probably a lot to do with why Robert Horry put his hand up.
Well, veterans know Robert Horry knows his role. He's to come in, rebound, help out defensively, not be the star of the team. That's why you want to keep Brian in.
Let's go to Brad Fay.
Antonio Davis has 5 fouls, so John Thomas has come in to play the defensive possession. You know why, to foul Shaquille O'Neal, and Davis will go back in for the offensive possession if allowed.
John Thomas with 4 fouls. Vince Carter knocking down the free throws. And Phil Jackson does not want to see this game snatched away by a team that did not look like it was ready to play today, the Toronto Raptors in the first half. That's basketball, though. And suddenly it's 86-82 with 58.8 left.
Well, Rod, one of the things we talked about earlier, that maybe it's a blessing that the Raptors started slowly. The last 2 games on the road, they've started out great. They've had 14-point leads and 11-point lead in those games and blew both games. Second one to Orlando, they weren't even in it at the end. This game, they come out, they struggle, come back in the third quarter, still struggle in the third quarter, then midway through and into the fourth, start getting it together. And this guy right here, Muggsy Bogues, did a real good job of getting his team back into it by pushing the ball and being much more aggressive and finally knocking down some shots.
I think that picture tells you the kind of battle it's been for both teams today. Only 13 fourth quarter points for the Los Angeles Lakers.
And that's the defense that Toronto Raptors have to play. You know, Kobe Bryant still playing great basketball, 23 points. Now, one of the things in this fourth quarter, Rod, the Los Angeles Lakers, see, they only had 13 points, but they only shot 29%. The Raptors shooting poorly all game, 53% in the fourth.
6 of those 13 have come from the Canadian, Rick Fox. But now we get down the stretch. You know that Shaq will be going to the line a few times in this last minute if the ball comes into him.
A good move by Butch Carter. Obviously jockey now. You're going to see a lot of movement, substitutions. If you have John Thomas into the game, you want to make sure that you do whatever you can do to basically get Shaq on the line without jeopardizing yourself at the other end of the court.
So the Toronto Raptors might be able to get an early Christmas gift right here. It's still 86-82. 58.8 left. And Sports Central coming up down the dial on CTV Sportsnet. A wrap up from here. All the NFL Sunday scores tonight at 6:30. So what a game we got here all of a sudden. And the mascot is killing us right in front of us. Toronto Raptors, who have blown third quarter leads. And this is a team, if you have followed the Toronto Raptors this year, has played better when it faces adversity. And today they faced a lot of adversity. 3 pieces of adversity. Shaq, Kobe, and Glenn Rice. And a foul, D. Brown, and an immediate reach in on Ron Harper.
Ron Harper, a 68% free throw shooter. Raptors obviously trying to play their odds right now to try to turn the possession over as quickly as possible.
Shaq stayed in the huddle and on the bench for that brief moment. He's on the sideline now. We'll check in a moment with Antonio Davis. Butch Carter charting a play for Antonio.
Well, one of the strengths of Butch Carter as a coach is improvising, changing things on the fly, and his players do a real solid job of listening and trying to execute plays he puts in. Oftentimes he just draws up plays from the top of his head that he sees something that he can take advantage of, and the Raptors usually respond and do a good job executing.
2 big free throws for Ron Harper. He has had a stare-down contest with the Toronto bench all day. 50 seconds to go. Vince Carter, 27 points today. Watched by Glenn Rice. Not as athletic as Kobe. Carter with a reverse.
Well, Carter realizes Glenn Rice can't handle him in a dribble situation. Instead of taking a jump shot, go right to the bucket, beat the help.
Vince Carter fouling Kobe Bryant. There is one for the highlight reel.
Well, Vince Carter's smart move. You want to go to the bucket late in games. The key is getting there before Shaquille O'Neal can come over, and he almost fouled Vince Carter in his play. Watch him reach in right there, trying to get the ball away from Carter. Dangerous play by Shaquille O'Neal. Now putting Kobe Bryant on the line. And Kobe Bryant, a solid free throw shooter, almost 85%.
Now, some people might question why you would play this way, but when you're playing against the Los Angeles Lakers, the last place team in free throw shooting in the NBA, it's a strategy that you have to use in a tight game.
Well, you have to have a strategy, whatever it is. You have to have a game plan, and Butch Carter obviously playing the odds in this basketball game. And you have to remember, too, free throw shooting is contagious. When the big fella Shaquille O'Neal starts missing, a lot of times it carries over the team, and that's why they're one of the worst free throw shooting teams.
But they put Kobe and Glenn Rice on the line, and Ron Harper. Those guys are deadly, so they want to get Shaq to the line, and they need a score right here. 35 seconds left. The lead is 6. McGrady, double clutch. Shaq with the rebound.
Excellent job, Shaquille O'Neal coming over to help out. Tracy McGrady forced a double clutch in the air, and then Shaq able to get the rebound, his 15th board in the game.
That might pretty much do it, too, with 26.7 left, a 6-point lead. If Ron Harper knocks this down, 8 points is too much to overcome against a team that has played defense like the Lakers today.
Rod, the problem when you get down in a game like this against a very talented team and a very solid team up front with a player like Shaquille O'Neal, you use so much energy to get back in the game. And the Raptors fought back one time, got it to about 8. They got back down again. Then they fight back again. It takes so much out of you. It's very difficult to get over the hump. That's why you don't want to bury yourself early in games like this.
Ron Harper and a timeout to Butch Carter. So it's 91-84. Toronto Raptors, a team that is 13-10. Everybody has been talking about them, and Phil Jackson's team, they were talking about them too. But there was so much hype put on this team, so much expectation early in the season. You know the expectations are all over Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. The question, of course, is can the Toronto Raptors live up to these types of expectations that are pushed on them because of the amazing plays that are seen on a nightly basis? And so far, the 13-10 record maybe says at times that they're unable to do that. D. Brown looking at the play, and Kobe Bryant. 91-84 as we check back in with Sunil Joshi and Rick Barry.
Well, the marketing campaign is called Believe the Hype. If you watch the last 5 minutes, I'd say yes, but...
Yeah, if they played that way in the first half, they got a lot more penetration. The guys are absolutely right over there, Rod and Leo, that Muggsy pushed the ball. They got opportunities going to the basket. He created kickouts for nice open shots. A good effort. If I'm Butch Carter, I'm happy because they could have folded up the tent in this basketball game. They didn't do that. And, Leo, I agree with you. It's the deep hole syndrome is what I call it. When you fall behind and you have to fight back so often, and then you fall back again, and you fight back and you fall back, you just run out of gas at the end, and that's what's happened to the Raptors.
The final seconds, perhaps. We might even have overtime. Let's go back to the Air Canada Center. Rod and Leo.
Well, the Toronto Raptors, one of the things, too, that has been a problem for them is their inability at times to play 48 minutes of solid basketball. They've really played 12 minutes this afternoon.
You have to look at the Los Angeles Lakers as an example of where you want to get to. Los Angeles Lakers have been a team that struggled defensively over the years, struggling in the same area, putting 48 minutes together. You have youth. That's why some veterans are brought in, like a Ron Harper, to help a Kobe Bryant learn and develop. So what Toronto's faced with now is they have to learn. The young players have to learn how to play 48 minutes. The hype is good. The hype brings the fans. The hype gets everybody going. But the reason you have the hype is there is talent. The talent has to be developed. Experience has to be gained. And the only way you do that is to go through an 82-game season.
Well, not only do you have to learn how to win, but you also have to learn how to lose. And the Raptors, as Vince tries to take the lob off of the alley-oop pass, Antonio Davis to put back. 91-86. Horry has no one to go to except Brian Shaw, and the foul there too.
Rod, solid basketball game for Antonio Davis. 17 points, 15 rebounds in the game. Actually, the big fellas for Toronto, Charles Oakley, 14 rebounds as well. So battling Shaquille O'Neal, at least up front, Charles Oakley and Antonio Davis put in tremendous efforts on the boards. But once you got the big fella down there, life is not easy.
Well, you kind of had a feeling. We talked before the game, and you had a feeling that this would be the kind of game the Los Angeles Lakers would come into Toronto, reeling from their only loss over the last 13 in Los Angeles to the same Raptors. albeit a different team, with the third member of the triangle, Kobe Bryant.
Right. This team is feeling great about itself right now, and it shows the way they're playing. They're unselfish. They're looking for each other. They're all playing defense. There's a lot of smiles on the court every time they're on. They're looking for one another. So this team is feeling good, and they wanted revenge. Remember, the Raptors came in and embarrassed them at home.
Talked with Rick Fox yesterday. I said to him, you know, you go to a restaurant nowadays in Los Angeles or anywhere, and an NBA star is going to be besieged by autograph seekers. But Rick Fox might be the only NBA player, when he goes out for dinner with his wife, he has to be second rate.
That's right. Vanessa Williams, who's that guy with you?
Rick married to Vanessa Williams, the great singer.
Well,
Says his life is great right now.
Well, we were talking. He's a big family guy as well. Both together have enlarged family. And when you look at Rick Fox, we talked to him last week in Vancouver, and I was asking Rick about how everything's going, and he said, you know, tremendous. And I said, you know what, the biggest part about you marrying Vanessa Williams, she went to Syracuse University about the same time I did, and I never got a chance to see her on campus. I said, that's not fair.
Oh, well, that happens in Syracuse, though. You were the big star, too, at the time. You would have thought.
She'd at least come over and say hello. Didn't happen.
But then again,
Rick Fox comes in, a North Carolina guy, and look what happened.
But did you know Vanessa Williams was on campus? There you go. So Fox and the Lakers are going to leave Toronto, and their record's going to be 21-5. They're going to have a 6-game win streak, 13 of their last 14, and undeniably right now they are the best team in the NBA, and you have to think a lot of the credit goes to the man in the beard.
Absolutely. Phil Jackson's done a tremendous job, and you have to look at defense. Look at the top teams in the league. And the Los Angeles Lakers sitting right there at the top, and it's doing it with D. There's number 2 in the league in opponent's field goal percentage, holding them around 40%. And as a matter of fact, 10 of their last 13 opponents they've held below 40%, and the Raptors are sitting right at 39% right now for the game.
Inside again, Davis. The tap in, 93-88. Once again, Kobe Bryant will shoot 2. Vince Carter with the foul. The battle between Vince and Kobe. Vince wins on points, at least unless Kobe nails a few more. They've had an ongoing conversation all day long, Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter. I'm not so sure it's been as amiable as you might think. Be a little trash in that as well.
All in good fun. It's very deceptive when you watch players on the court. They have a smile, they're looking at one another, and you think it's a lot of casual conversation, but they usually dig up some pretty good things about one another or their past or their games to see if they can break their concentration.
They're still jawing at each other. But boy, are they 2 exciting players to watch. And once again, another timeout. If you had an all-highlight team today, could you imagine I call it the real dream team? You have Jason Williams, Vince Carter, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Garnett, and don't forget, Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant will be head-to-head, I am certain, even with Tracy McGrady perhaps. The slam dunk competition's coming back to the All-Star game.
I think that's going to be exciting. I think the fans are eager to have that competition back.
That will be in February in Golden State.
Yes. And the key here, Rod, we're talking about the highlights, and both of these players, Vince Carter and Kobe Bryant, there's a lot more to their games than just the highlight. And we really saw that in Kobe Bryant's game today. Putting the ball on the floor, showed us a variety of shots, able to get to the basket pretty much at will for most of the game. Here we get a look at that talent right there. It's amazing what a soft touch he has in traffic. And we talked about his ability to get to the free throw line. He got to the line 11 times in this game on the season, averaging about 8 trips to the line. And when you look at the league leaders, that's right around the top.
Performing with the one glove on his hand, and obviously not that cumbersome as we take a look at his points. 26. Vince has 29. Don't forget, our next game on CTV, the Lakers aren't part of it because we had the Lakers last week. We had the Lakers this week. We'll have the 2 Canadian teams, the Vancouver Grizzlies, the Toronto Raptors, in the new year, Sunday, January 9th. And of course, we wish you all the very best. The Hoop fans across Canada during the holiday season.
It'll be interesting to see what kind of changes Lionel Hollins can implement as the new head coach for the Vancouver Grizzlies. He doesn't have a lot of time, obviously, to make changes. You can't make a lot of dramatic changes. The one thing when I see that team play, they need to have some more fun playing basketball. There's got to be some more enthusiasm on the Vancouver Grizzlies squad, and I think Lionel Hollins has to lighten things up a little bit, be a little less cerebral, a little bit more enthusiastic and spirited in their play.
Well, it's tough to be spirited, though, when you're losing so many games in that franchise.
Oh, it definitely wears you down. Definitely wears you down, but when you get too intense, you end up breaking down at the end of the games, and that's been a characteristic of, whoa! Almost a tremendous play.
That would have been something else. They threw it off the backboard. Vince almost windmilled it home as he and Kobe share a moment here at the end. But Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant and Vince Carter, two of the young stars that they say will carry basketball into the new millennium and put on a show today. Raptors didn't put on much of a show in the first 3 quarters, but in the last quarter, and look at this, almost.
That would have been nasty.
That would have been a preview for the slam dunk competition in February.